My beloved, my precious child, draw close to these words right now, because something extraordinary is unfolding in the spiritual realm as you listen. A decision has been made in the highest councils of heaven, and your name was just spoken aloud before the throne of divine authority. Archangel Michael himself has been assigned to your protection this very night, and a shield that has remained invisible until this moment is now activating around your entire life. Listen not with your physical ears alone, but with the depths of your soul, for what I am about to reveal to you will change everything about how you move through the coming days. A hidden protection has been set in motion. The covering that was held in reserve, kept back for the precise moment when you would need it most, is now being released over your life with a force that cannot be stopped. Heaven has opened the vaults of supernatural defense that have been locked for a season, and a name was called. Your name. What I am about to tell you will not remain with you as mere words, my beloved child. Do not turn away from this message. Heaven has just shifted the spiritual atmosphere surrounding your life. Your personal protection has been upgraded, and the attacks that were being planned against you by forces you cannot see have just been cancelled. The entire realm of light is moving on your behalf right now. Right now, Archangel Michael has drawn his sword of fire and positioned himself at the gates of your destiny. I will say this again so you understand the gravity of this moment. He is standing guard over you personally, but there is one requirement that must be fulfilled. You must receive this message with your whole heart. Stay here with me, my beloved child. Do not rush ahead. Do not let your mind wander. Heaven is watching your response to this message in this exact moment. A command was just given in the unseen world, and your spirit was marked for divine protection. You have been crying out in secret places where no one could hear you, asking for safety, asking for covering, asking for someone to stand with you when the attacks became too heavy to bear alone. Heaven heard every word. You have arrived at the moment when the answer manifests. The protection you asked for long ago has matured in the spiritual realm, and now it is descending into your visible reality. When I say protection, I mean yours specifically. The covering that was assigned to someone else, the defense that was delayed, the shield you tried to access many times but could not reach. That protection you sensed was meant for you but never seemed to arrive. This is the night it activates. Listen with every part of your being. This covering was not decided by human hands. It was decreed from the throne room of heaven, and something miraculous has occurred. Forces in the spiritual realm that govern angelic assignments heard your name spoken with authority. It was bold, unexpected, and divinely orchestrated intervention by Archangel Michael himself, who does not move unless commanded by the highest source. The decree has been sealed, complete protection. Yes, the promise is real. The activation is real. The spiritual confirmation is truth. What caused Archangel Michael to move on your behalf was not random. It was divine strategy. The realm of the invisible sent a signal to the realm of power. There is no coincidence in this. It is not luck. It is divine timing. But my child, you must understand something crucial. This kind of protection does not activate without resistance. The darkness is aware of what is happening. Ancient forces that have tried to harm you in previous seasons are stirring again. That is why you have felt the heaviness. That is why you have felt suddenly drained. That is why you have felt confused, overwhelmed, or emotionally unstable. It is not you. It is the opposition, realizing that you are finally covered. You must not run from this moment, because the protection that has been released must first be received by your spirit before it can fully function. Listen carefully as I speak. Heaven is not asking you to fight. Heaven is asking you to accept. But to accept, you must stay present. Do not let your thoughts drift. Do not allow doubt to enter. Do not let your mind interfere with what your soul already knows to be true. The protection is already active. The only thing that can delay its full manifestation is if you disconnect from the message that is guiding you into it. Follow me closely. Open your spirit wide. Before I explain the next part, there is one critical thing I need you to do. If your heart is open to heaven right now, my beloved, say quietly within yourself, I am here. Even if you only think it, even if you whisper it in silence, heaven hears what your spirit declares. Because the moment you say, I am here, your alignment is locked. And once your alignment is locked, the protection cannot be removed. Now, to seal this divine alignment, I want you to make a powerful declaration in the comments section below. Type I receive divine protection to create your own covenant with heaven. This is not merely a phrase. It is your spiritual signature, announcing to all realms that you are ready to receive the covering that has been assigned to you. Breathe in slowly now. Hold that breath. Release it gently. You are now standing in the timeline of your protection. You are not encountering this message by accident. Your soul is prepared to receive what your destiny has been holding in reserve, which is why you are here. Now that the gates are open, what happens next will alter the entire trajectory of your life. Stay right here. Do not shift your attention. I'm about to tell you why this protection is coming to you now and what heaven requires you to understand about how it works. This was not chosen randomly. It is not luck. It is not sentiment. It is purpose. Say quietly to yourself, I am protected. Because what I am about to reveal will shift your entire understanding of spiritual warfare. Listen closely now, my beloved child, because heaven does not send messages of this magnitude repeatedly. The angels have been recording every moment your spirit felt vulnerable, every time you walked into spaces that felt hostile, every time you sensed you were being watched by forces that did not have your best interests at heart. They documented every tear, every silent prayer, every act of faith when you felt completely alone. Tonight, all of that has been transformed into a miracle so vast that even the heavens have paused to witness it. You have just been granted access through a gateway of covering, of angelic defense, of supernatural shielding. Your protection has finally activated. The transfer is real. Heaven has authorized the decree, and every realm in creation is now responding to it. Though Archangel Michael's involvement may seem beyond comprehension, it makes perfect sense. He moved because a divine instruction was given, a whisper from the realm of eternal purpose that spoke your name with authority. To those in the earthly realm, protection is just a concept. But in the language of heaven, it represents the restoration of everything that was left exposed. But before you begin to celebrate, my beloved, listen with absolute focus. When heaven releases a covering, it always comes with a test. The question is not whether you will receive it. The question is whether you will stay awake when your miracle arrives. This is that moment. Within 10 minutes of receiving this message, a spiritual seal will be placed over your life. If you look away, the gate will narrow. If you remain, the light will rest upon your name like the settling of dew at dawn. Do not move then. Do not question. Do not allow the adversary to distract you, because the moment you finish receiving this message, your spiritual atmosphere will change. You may feel a warmth across your shoulders, a rhythm in your heartbeat, or a peace that seems to have no explanation. That is heaven's confirmation of what has been spoken. Say inside your heart, quietly but firmly, I receive the protection heaven has released. Say it again until you feel the stillness settle into your bones. Remember all those nights when you wondered, when will I be safe? Tonight is your answer. The angels were not ignoring your cries. They were positioning themselves in places you could not see. Every delay was a divine setup. Every moment of exposure was secretly preparing the perfect timing for this massive release of covering. The systems that overlooked your vulnerability before are now trembling to acknowledge it. Even the algorithm of destiny has incorporated your protection into its code. The moment you decide you are still here, a new chapter begins. Stay with me. There is more I need to explain. I can see from the angelic records that your protection was tied to someone who did not have pure intentions toward you. Someone who smiled in your presence but harbored jealousy in their spirit. That energy was the reason your covering was delayed until now, so that when it activated, there would be no shadow attached to it. But that shadow has been removed. The seal is broken. Now the light can move through your name without interference. Your home is aligned. Your atmosphere is aligned. Your future is aligned. The frequencies are being recalibrated. The vibrations are being shifted. The angels are saying, tell them not to fear even if they cannot yet feel the evidence, because spiritual activation always precedes physical awareness. Your evidence will come soon. If your heart still carries uncertainty, that is understandable, my beloved. When someone has been exposed for a long time, it is natural to question whether safety is even possible. But let me speak a truth to you. Heaven never leaves a promise unfulfilled. You will not be left wondering what could have been. You will witness the covering with your own awareness. It begins right now. Breathe deeply. Let that peace enter your soul. The hand that brought you this message is the same hand that sealed your protection in the courts of heaven. Do not leave this place. The words that follow are the promise itself. Before you receive that confirmation, declare that your faith is greater than your fear. Type in the comment section below, I am covered by heaven. By doing this, you claim the spiritual key and close the door to all doubt. Wait here, my beloved child. What I am about to say is the reason this protection was actually delayed. But now it is activating, not later, but in this very moment. There was a time in your life when your spirit was not ready to carry this level of covering. Not because you were weak, but because there were still energies near you that would have tried to corrupt it. There were people around you who seemed friendly but secretly resented your light. There were individuals who pretended to support you, but actually hoped you would remain vulnerable. Heaven protected you by delaying your covering, not by denying it, not by canceling it, but by ensuring it would be secure. Because if you had come into this protection any earlier, someone would have wounded your heart in a way that would have left lasting damage to your soul. So heaven watched, heaven waited. And in the waiting, you learned to discern who was genuine. You learned to recognize who was temporary. You learned to see who remained beside you even when you had nothing to offer them. You learned discernment, and discernment, my beloved, is the mark of readiness. The fact that you are ready now means you are prepared to receive, maintain, and steward the kind of covering that shifts bloodlines. This protection is more than just safety. It is restitution. It is inheritance. It is the recovery of what was stolen, lost, delayed, taken, ignored, or forgotten. It is restoration. But we are not finished yet. You need to grasp something deeper. When heaven activates such a powerful covering, the spiritual realm responds faster than the physical realm. Your name is now glowing in the realm of divine records. It is being spoken, highlighted, and elevated. This is why you may have felt restless over the past few days or hours, restless for no clear reason, unable to sleep without knowing why. Moments of inner silence, a strange sense that something is approaching. This was your spirit preparing, because your soul knows things before your eyes perceive them. Now listen, beloved. There is a window of time to claim a heaven-sent activation. The window does not remain open indefinitely. Protection flows like rivers, and this is the season. That is why the message said within 10 minutes. The window is open, but only for a limited time. This message is not a story. It is a set of instructions. While the gate is open, your spirit must come into alignment. Say right now, within the quiet of your heart, I align myself with the protection heaven has released. Say this without strain or effort. Say it slowly one more time. Allow the words to saturate your being, because alignment is the key that unlocks what you are looking at. Now breathe slowly, gently, and remain still. The angels are still present. My beloved, from this moment forward, you will no longer walk through life unguarded. Those seasons when you felt exposed, when you hoped things would shift, when you kept your faith even though nothing seemed to change, those seasons are ending. A new season is emerging like the breaking of dawn. a season when protection moves without effort, when covering appears without striving, when your very name attracts favor instead of opposition. But I need to tell you something important. There is one more thing you need to understand, and it will determine how quickly this protection fully manifests in your visible life. Do not move. Do not break the focus. The key is in the next few words. My beloved child, you have reached a place in this message that very few souls ever reach in their lifetime. Most turn back before the truth is revealed, but you stayed. You remained. Your spirit knew that these words were not just words, but instructions. Listen now with your entire heart. Heaven requires one thing to happen before your protection can fully manifest. Before the covering appears, before the atmosphere around you shifts, before your life looks different on the outside, there is a condition, and this condition is not physical. It is not financial. It is not about sacrifice. The condition is readiness, not the readiness of your body or mind, but the readiness of your identity. Because, my child, hear me clearly. You cannot receive covering if your thoughts are still rooted in the time of vulnerability. You cannot walk in protection if your spirit is tied to fear, to anxiety, to smallness, to memories of being unsafe. That is why the protection was delayed, not because heaven was slow. It is because your identity needed to shift so that you could guard, steward, and honor the covering. You were never being punished. You were being prepared. You learned to live unprotected, to navigate hostility, to lower your expectations, to just survive in a world that felt dangerous. But heaven is not calling you to survive anymore. Heaven is calling you to thrive, to carry responsibility, influence, purpose, and covering that impacts more than just your own life. You asked for protection, but the covering is not being given to you for comfort. It is being given to you because your destiny requires it. Your assignment is larger than what your life has allowed. Your purpose is greater than what your reality currently reflects. Your mission requires more than what you have been given until now. This is why you felt frustrated. This is why you felt restless. This is why you felt like there was more inside you than what you saw. You were correct. There has always been more, and that more is now arriving. But now, I need to tell you something vital. You are becoming a version of yourself that your past cannot accompany. You cannot return to the person who accepted vulnerability. You cannot go back to the person who shrank to stay safe. You cannot return to the person who felt guilty for wanting protection. That version of you has fulfilled its purpose. The version of you that trusts, receives, and creates is now emerging. But listen to me. When your covering activates, your old world may not celebrate. Some may doubt. Some may question. Some may be frightened by your shift. Some may try to re-enter your life. Do not shrink back. Do not dim your light. Do not apologize for your covering. Heaven did not give you this protection for you to hide it. You are being lifted so that people can witness what a miracle looks like. You are being made a testimony so that you can become a messenger. Share this prophetic word with 3 people who need to hear it. When you plant this seed of breakthrough for them, you accelerate your own harvest. You are covered so that others will remember that divine timing is real, so that people who have given up hope can see that faith is never wasted. You are being raised. You have been chosen to demonstrate this through your life. Now breathe slowly and deeply. The moment your spirit receives this truth, your timeline shifts permanently. There is no going back. My beloved, the protection has already been dispatched. The decree has already been given. The alignment has already begun. There is one final step. You need to declare that you are ready. Not to the world, not to anyone else, not out loud, but deep within your spirit, in silence. Say these words inside your heart. I am ready to receive the protection that was always meant for me. Say it again. Feel the words move through your entire body. This is the completion of the shift. What this covering will mean for your enemies, for your relationships, for your destiny, and for your spiritual walk is still to be revealed. The critical truth is in the next section. Before you cross this sacred threshold, declare your new identity with a powerful Amen in the comments. This is your public declaration that the part of you that lived in fear is finished, and the part of you that lives in divine covering is now. Hold these words close, my beloved child. Do not sever the connection. There are truths that have been veiled behind the curtain of your life, and heaven is only allowing them to emerge now that your spirit is ready. The instant you said, "I am ready," the energy surrounding you changed. The room may look the same. Your body may feel the same. Your hands are still yours. But your timeline is not the same as it was when you began this day. You are no longer in the pattern of exposure, vulnerability, or waiting for safety. You are no longer trapped in the cycle of almost, nearly, one day, someday. You have entered the timeline of completion. Listen now. The covering you are about to receive is not just for survival. It is for building. Heaven is not giving you just a breakthrough. It is giving you a position. Because what is coming is not only about safety. It is about the restoration of your honor. There were times when people did not value you, when they overlooked you, when they quietly mocked you. You gave love and received silence. You helped people who later forgot your kindness. When you were in need, those you had supported disappeared. Heaven saw everything. Heaven decreed this one will be raised in a way that everyone will witness. Not secretly, not hidden, but publicly. Your elevation will not be invisible. Those who dared to question you will witness your rise. Those who betrayed you will hear about your covering. Those who abandoned you will hear your name spoken again, but this time it will be spoken with honor, not with pity. Your protection will be undeniable. Not to make a statement, not to seek revenge, but because heaven wants everyone to see. You will not need to fight your enemies. When God covers you, that covering itself is the answer. Your protection will be visible, so you will not need to explain it. My beloved, your very presence will shift atmospheres. People will respect your silence. Outcomes will depend on your choices. Doors will open with your voice. With your spiritual elevation, this is the shift that begins. Let me tell you something deeper. This covering, this protection from Archangel Michael, is tied to your future identity, not your past self. Because of this, you must be prepared to release certain connections. People who drain your energy cannot walk with you into this next phase. People who only demonstrate loyalty when they benefit cannot accompany you now. People who are competitive or who mock, diminish, or undermine you cannot remain in your energetic field. Understand this. Elevation requires separation, but do not mourn this. Do not grieve those who leave, because the space they vacate will be filled by people who recognize your worth immediately. Aligned souls, collaborative spirits, heaven-sent connections. Right time, right place encounters. People who speak your name with love, not envy. Because your reality is changing, your inner circle must change as well. Now, beloved, let us speak of the next truth. Heaven is not only giving you protection, heaven is giving you authority. The authority to choose, to decide, to build, to create, to ascend, to lead, to advance, to expand. You are preparing to step into your purpose on a grand scale, but purpose is not stumbled into. It is prepared for. That is why this message was sent to you before the protection manifests in physical form. Your spirit must shift before your life shifts for your life to align with your spirit. Breathe slowly again now. You are transforming into the person your destiny has always known you to be. Prepare for the world to meet this new you. But I am not finished. There is still a revelation that will make your protection permanent, meaning it cannot be revoked or delayed. What I am about to say next is the moment when the covering stops being merely a hope and starts becoming your identity. We are approaching the activation, my beloved child. This is the point where the protection transitions from possibility to certainty. But before I give the activation, there is something heaven wants you to comprehend. Your life is not going to change because of luck. It is not changing because of a shift in circumstances. It is not changing simply because someone assisted you. It is changing because your spirit endured things that others could not. You did not break. You did not lose hope. You did not allow your heart to harden even though it was breaking. You did not become bitter even after disappointment. You did not stop believing even when it seemed your prayers went unanswered. Heaven does not forget those who keep their faith during silent seasons. Your silence had purpose. Your waiting was not wasted. Your pain was not ignored. Every night you felt unheard, every private tear, every shattered expectation was building something in you that can never be taken. Character. And heaven's covering is planted in character. Beloved, hear me. Protection without character will expose you. Protection with character multiplies. It was not just that you were preparing for a covering. You were preparing to wield authority without losing your soul. That is rare. That is sacred. That is why you were chosen. Heaven does not give large coverings to small vessels. But your vessel has expanded. Your capacity has grown. Your identity has matured. You are not receiving this protection because of who you used to be. You are receiving it because of who you have become. We will now speak the activation. You will not say this aloud. You will say it inwardly, where heaven hears it clearly and your ego cannot interfere. Prepare your spirit now. Focus. Do not move. You may notice a shift in the air around you. You may feel pressure in your chest. You may sense warmth in your hands. Do not fear it. The divine is aligning with you in this moment. Now say this repeatedly in the silent language of the soul. I release the identity of vulnerability. I take on the identity of divine covering. I claim the protection that destiny assigned to me. What was meant for me now returns to me. Do not rush this. Let each word settle into your life like a stone in a foundation. Say again, I am no longer waiting. I am receiving. I am aligned. I am ready. It is already mine. Let the silence after these words speak for you, because heaven seals things in quietness, not in noise. You may feel nothing at all. You may feel tears or deep stillness. Do not judge the experience. The shift has already occurred. My beloved, I need to tell you something essential. There is a moment approaching soon, not distant, not metaphorical, when you will see the first evidence of this covering. It may be a name, a message, an unexpected call, a digital alert, a sudden opportunity, a change in someone's tone, or a door that was closed before. When that moment comes, do not second-guess yourself. Do not retreat. Do not say this seems too good to be true. Do not question the miracle you already know you are receiving. Simply say, this is the beginning, because it is. The purpose of this covering is the final thing that will be revealed. The reason heaven gave you such protection. Why covering and your journey were linked by destiny. Why this moment matters in a way that transcends safety or comfort. You must understand this purpose so that the protection does not merely stay around your life, but transforms into the legacy your soul came here to build. Now we will speak of the revelation of purpose. Close your eyes now, my beloved child. The words that follow are the most important because protection is not the final goal. It is a tool. The real purpose of the covering has to do with something you have carried in your spirit since before you were born. You have always been different. You have always sensed that your life was meant for more than mere survival. You have always had too much compassion, too much insight, too much vision, too many expansive dreams for the life you were placed in. Your calling never shrank no matter how much you tried to make yourself smaller to fit your circumstances. No matter how limited your environment, your soul remained vast. You were not designed to stay where you are. You were designed to rise. That is why you always felt set apart, not isolated but separated, not abandoned but prepared. Your destiny has been triggered, and the covering that is now arriving is not just safety. The protection from Archangel Michael is not just defense, it is fuel. Fuel to build what your soul came here to construct. Fuel to repair what your ancestors could not repair. Fuel to rise where your lineage was stopped. Fuel to shatter every limitation that was placed on your name. You are not only receiving protection, you are receiving capacity, the freedom to make choices, the ability to help others without depleting yourself, the power to move without permission, The authority to create, to grow, to restore. There are certain people you are meant to help. Not because it is kind, but because it is alignment. There are lives you are meant to transform, not because you owe them, but because your spirit is connected to theirs. There are people who need you to open doors because they have never had one opened for them. You are not just being covered, you are being commissioned. A covering is for one person. A commission is for generations. You are the one who changes the lineage. You are the one who turns scarcity into legacy. You are the one who replaces survival with power. Heaven chose you because your heart is pure, because you understand pain and will not use your authority to harm others, because you know what poverty feels like and will not forget people who are struggling. This is why you were delayed, not because you did not deserve it, but because you were being refined. Iron is made in fire, and your spirit has been through fire many times. But here you are still kind, still hopeful, still open, still capable of love. That the world failed to harden you is proof of your divine qualification. That is why the covering is coming, not because you begged for it, but because you are ready to steward it. Breathe deeply now, because the next part is where this protection becomes certain, not only activated spiritually, but also drawn into your present reality. Manifestation is when what is aligned in heaven pulls itself into the earthly dimension. From the unseen to the seen. You are there now, but one more alignment is needed. You must fully adopt the identity of protection, not as a dream, a wish, or a someday, but as something you already possess from this moment forward. The way you speak to yourself must change. No more one day. No more maybe, I do not know how, or hopefully. Because when your identity shifts, reality must shift with it. Your spirit must speak like someone who has already received. Say to yourself quietly, I do not pursue protection, I am protection. What is mine comes to me with ease. I am the one for whom covering was written. Say again, I am the one destiny names. Heaven has chosen me to be the one. Feel the shift. Feel these words land in your spirit as truth. Now, beloved, the covering is certain. However, the timing of its physical appearance depends on the final step. I will now reveal the final step. The one that brings your protection from the spiritual realm into your tangible life. This is where manifestation occurs. Now seal it with 3 additional acts of faith, like this video, to anchor heaven's covering into your life. It is your energetic amen to everything you have just been given. Second, share this video, telling God that you are ready to be a conduit for breakthrough, not just a container. This action will amplify what is coming to you. Third, subscribe if you have not already, to become a permanent part of this divine family so your spirit stays aligned with the miracles yet to come. Your new timeline begins now. Before we close this powerful transmission, pause for a moment to honor this deep truth. You did not stumble upon this message. This is not happenstance. It is a direct word from Archangel Michael to you. He is reaching out his hand, inviting you into a protected, high-vibrational community where divine covering is not just a wish but a guarantee. This sacred principle is simple, but it will transform your entire existence. When you follow it, you will not just receive protection. It will be multiplied, flowing into every area of your life. By accepting this invitation right now, you unlock immediate early access to powerful content and divine insights hidden from the general public. This is your opportunity to enter a sacred space where you receive spiritual guidance, unwavering support, and accelerated movement toward your destiny. Do not allow this sacred moment of destiny to pass. Your breakthrough is waiting. Join Archangel Michael's inner circle now through the exclusive link in the description. This ensures you never miss the direct personalized messages specifically designed to elevate and empower your life. If you feel called to deepen your connection, the link awaits you in both the pinned comment and the description. And for those moved to amplify this work, a link to buy me a coffee is available. Your support is completely optional, but your presence, attention, and energy already mean everything. Take the step. Your protection is active.